Beyond the Mic with Sean Dillon.
We're joined on the star line by author Heidi Murkoff of the longest-running title of all time on the New York Times bestseller list, What to Expect When You're Expecting, and her daughter, lifestyle editor at whattoexpect.com, Emma Bing.
Hey, Sean.
Let's go beyond the mic. Heidi, you conceived this idea for your book during your first pregnancy of your daughter, Emma. Why was the immediacy of a podcast with your daughter so important to you?
Well, we've done books, an app, and now it seems like the right time to do a podcast, answer all your questions and have a lot of fun. I love the interaction. Emma's the funniest person I know. So she's better to do a podcast with. And plus, she's a mom. She's a mom of two now. So we're both moms, except I'm her mom.
I feel like if I wasn't a mom, it would be weird, you know?
Weird. It would have been weird for me to write What to Expect in the first place, for sure, if I hadn't been a mom. You have to kind of put yourself in those shoes and know that the shoes don't fit because your feet are swollen.
Emma, you've grown up through this project, and now you're a significant part of the What to Expect family. When was the moment you knew you had to be the next generation to help women?
Well, I think I was kind of born for the job, right?
You were born into it, that's for sure.
You know, I was a beauty editor, and then I got pregnant, and I was like, you know, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to work with my mom, and it was the perfect fit. Honestly, I think that, you know, I can't fill her shoes. Not even close.
Exactly. And then
I'm honored to work with her, and there's no one else I'd rather work with. We have so much fun. It's been the best time.
The funniest thing probably is that she never follows my advice. So millions of moms and dads around the world follow my advice. Emma, on the other hand, asks for my advice and then does exactly the opposite.
What daughter follows her mom's advice?
Now, women consider your book the Pregnancy Bible. What's changed the most from the first edition to today?
Well, first of all, let's start with the cover. The first edition of What to Expect When You're Expecting, well, there was a woman kind of in this, like, she was from the 80s, so she had really bad hair. And then she had this, like, tent of a dress. She was sitting in a rocking chair. And she, you know, I used to tell myself that she looked like the Mona Lisa of pregnancy, but truthfully, she looked like she was constipated and miserable. So I think the metaphor of how pregnancy has changed, you look at the cover of the 5th edition with Emma on the cover, pregnant with Lennox, and she's happy and she's smiling and she's showing off her belly and she's celebrating her pregnancy. So I think that's how much pregnancy has changed and become something that we're empowered about. Rather than something that just happens to us. And I think the other thing is social media, podcasts. There was no information when I was pregnant for the first time, which is why I had to write a book. And now there's, you know, probably too much information, conflicting information, but there's also a lot of support from other moms. You know, if you have enough time on your hands, you can become friends with thousands and millions of moms around the world and feel that sisterhood, which I think it's really a positive change.
You've expanded your What to Expect brand with whattoexpect.com app, movie, podcast, and the What to Expect project. You've touched plenty of lives with your words. Why is helping mothers with healthy pregnancies around the world necessary for both of you?
Well, for me, that's what it's all been about. You know, I think knowledge is power, and it's especially empowering when you're pregnant, when you have a new baby, because there's so much that you don't know. And What to Expect has, you know, always been there to fill in those blanks, answer your questions, talk you off the ledge, you know, when you're feeling stressed out. But I think every mom, because I consider motherhood the ultimate sisterhood, and I've been all over the world with moms of, you know, who live in every different kind of situation. And though their challenges are different, you know, they're bond together by this, you know, by wanting what's best for their baby and for their families and for themselves. And that's why we can bring a podcast into more moms' lives and dads' lives and help us sister out. That's what we do.
help them feel not so alone, and also give them that, opportunity to be, for me personally, like the thing that means the most is when moms tell me on social media, like, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing this. I feel so much better knowing it wasn't just me. And that's what this podcast really is. We're very, on my side, I give my experiences and I'm very open, maybe sometimes too open. But I think that, there's no such thing. But I think that's very beneficial, especially for a new mom.
Yeah, because, knowing that you're not the only one out there, whether it's the crazy pregnancy experience you're experiencing, or it's, your baby won't stop crying and you feel guilty about this or the other thing, and you realize you're not alone. It doesn't necessarily make the struggle go away, but it helps you cope with it, to know that other moms are in the same spot at the same time.
So what's the maternal child health issue that will be the key for you in 2021?
Well, in the U.S., maternal mortality is shockingly high, and that's due partly to an access of care and disparities in care, especially racial disparities. Black moms are 3 to 4 times more likely to die of a preventable pregnancy-related cause, and that's just a matter of, we need better health care in the U.S., and we need it to apply to everyone equally. So that's incredibly important, but also things like paid family leave, that's super important because it allows moms and dads to bond with their baby, for a mom to have time to breastfeed, affordable childcare. We make it, in this country, we make it way too hard to be a parent, and I hope that we can change the system and make it more parent-friendly, mom-friendly, child-friendly.
So where can people find the podcast?
It's answers to all your questions. It's a place where you can go and feel like you're safe and secure. You won't be judged. You won't be shamed, which is pretty much the philosophy of What to Expect, is that, we're all in this together. We hear that a lot lately. We probably hear it too much lately, but we really mean it. We are all in this together. And the What to Expect podcast is that safe spot.
Emma Byng, Heidi Murkoff, the series of baby books and podcast is What to Expect. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that, my friends, is Beyond the Mic.